right, Jared Vanderbilt, another impressive victory for you guys, 4th in a row, really playing your best basketball of the season before welcoming a couple additions to the team. But what did it take tonight in this one to beat the Warriors?
It took some grit, man. We started off well. Second half, we kind of dropped off a little bit, but we ended up picking the physicality back up. And that's how we got to play for 4 quarters, man. That physicality, being the aggressor, and just trying to connect all 4 quarters together.
Well, I know you're still working your way back to full NBA condition. You just got back. 14 rebounds, though, tonight in just 20 minutes. I know that's your thing, right? Rebounding, but particularly tonight, how much was that needed?
A lot. We gave up a lot of offensive rebounds tonight, and that's how they scored a lot of points. So my thought process is going there, just try to grab every rebound, man. Be physical. I think, and the crazy part, I wasn't even the leading rebound. So shout out to Bron. He had 17. That's huge for us. And we just got to, especially when we play in those smaller lineups, all 5 got to get in there and rebound.
Yeah, speaking of LeBron, he also joins MJ, the only player to score over 40 at age 40. Yeah, look, it's just one thing after another with him. But what do you see from LeBron right now?
Man, he just locked in, man. I feel like he's breaking the record every game almost. So, man, just a blessing to be able to play with him and just be able to watch greatness. And he's been leading our team all year, so we following his lead stuff. So, yeah.
How much you enjoying playing with Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent? Seems like you guys all have a certain intensity to your game that's rubbing off on your teammates.
I love it. I mean, man, just having that dog-like mentality, having dogs around me that's going to do all the dirty work and fly around and play hard, man, I think it get our whole group going. When they see us going and we talking and we out there screaming, yelling, being physical, it kind of just boosts the whole tempo of the team, man. So that's our job over here, man, to set the tone and be the enforcers, be the energy, and be the dogs on the team.
Last one for you. How excited are you to have Luka Doncic join the team?
Man, I mean, anytime you can add a star caliber player like him, man, it's amazing. So, like I said, we already been playing well, and we still adding some 2 great pieces coming along as well. So we're excited to keep it going.
Appreciate it, Vando.
Yep.
17 rebounds, 8 assists, only the second player ever at the age of 40 to score 40. What do you think when you hear that?
What do I think? That I'm old. that's what I think. Yeah, I need a glass of wine and some sleep. That's what the first thing I think about.
Joining MJ as the only 2 guys 40-plus club.
The biggest thing is that we got the win, obviously. But like throughout my journey, anytime I've been named or in the category or whatever the case, cross paths with any of the greats is always humbling. Just to know where I come from, and I love the game so much, so it's pretty cool.
You've been closing out your pregame workouts by shooting logo threes. I noticed this year, I don't know how long that's gone back. When did you start incorporating that to kind of your prep, and can you just describe the moment when you hit your 4th three?
Well, no, we just added to it. Obviously, me and St. Jean, go through our pregame workout, and I usually kind of end it with that, knowing at some point that it's possible that I could, take one throughout the game. So I always work on things that I'm gonna shoot in the game or plays I'm gonna do in the game. So it pays off for sure.
Ron, you got a feel for what Mark Williams is going to be able to bring to you guys?
Sheesh. I haven't even had time to really wrap my head around it. Obviously, young, athletic, big. He's going to give us another lob threat along with Jackson. And looking forward to getting him here. I think, I was surprised that we was able to get him, to be completely honest. Just seeing his length and seeing how young he is. I think he's 23 years old. So looking forward to getting him here and getting him acclimated to our system, and we look forward to what he brings to the table.
There was a moment against the Clippers where you scored, got fouled, and you looked over. There's a camera that caught you look over to Luke and said, I think this is what we're going to do. After you hit the 3 that Dave mentioned.
I never said that.
That's not what you said?
No.
Did Internet got something wrong?
I never said that. I don't even know what I said, and I looked at the whole bench. I never said that. I see people go there running with that TV. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Whatever.
Okay.
I never said that.
He was one of the people that celebrated with you.
Yeah.
After the 3 today, you posted something the other day on Instagram to you guys, just the level of excitement to just actually get out there and have that player next year.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait because he everything that I do on the floor, I mean, he just has the ability to do it or even do it better. And that's how great he is. Even at his young age of 25, he's such a unique player, special player, generational talent. So, be super appreciative to be able to, share the floor with him and then watch him do his thing. So, it'll be good. Go ahead. No, you're good.
I think it was your first televised high school game. Bill Walton was doing color commentary, and he said of you at the time, the basketball is like an extension of his mind. I'm wondering, like, on a night like tonight, 20 plus years later, how does that quote resonate?
First of all, I miss Bill Walton. He was always a fan of mine and always kept it real with me and always appreciated my game. He wasn't one of those like old school haters that we have in the NBA. So I rock with Bill and obviously Luke was, my coach when I first got here. I rock with their whole family. They super cool. To go back on extension of my mind, I've been able to be in position where I try to see the game, before plays happen, try to put myself in situations out on the court before you actually get out there. And the best thing I've had a lot of experience. And the best teacher in life is experience, to be able to go through things, understand, okay, this is what happens, this was, you may, if you come about this time, okay, you've been able to do it previously, okay, I know how to attack it there. But I was taught the game the right way as a youngin'. And I've always had a feel for how excited I got when my teammates were successful. And that's never changed.
I think you make it just sort of the general level of intensity, physicality, some crazy scuffles, hard fouls.
Oh, there?
Yeah, tonight.
Oh, anytime you go against every time you go against Draymond, you know it's going to be some extracurricular activities. So you better be ready for it, and you better lift before the game. And you know that's going to happen.
LeBron, there's a way that JJ described it as you and Luka in the supercomputer. Is there like a shorthand where you and he, since you can see some things not a lot of guys do, and I know it's only been a couple days, but like when you get to the bench and he sees a certain pass angle you make, like how does that evolve and kind of fast track things for you two?
It fast tracks it because we just both know how to play the game at a high level, and we know how to play the game. We know how to think the game. When the game is moving fast, very fast for other people, we're able to slow the game down in our mind. And it's just that. I see it. I've been watching him since he, got into this league, and I know what he's capable of doing. He's just a special, super duper special talent.
Did you ever get to a point in your career where you could shoot a logo three with plenty of time left on the shot clock, not in like an end of shot clock, end of quarter situation, if not for the guy on the other team?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. JJ still want me to shoot more threes. I'm still reluctant to do that because I play like an all-around game, whatever the case may be. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Is there a challenge with Luka coming in that
Last
you guys
question.
see the game at a elite level, but making sure this whole team is cohesive to that as you guys move forward? Is there a challenge there?
The challenge is I don't really see a challenge. Everybody get in the right spots, hold each other accountable, play basketball the right way, share the ball. The ball gonna be in Luka's hands. It's gonna be in AR's hands. Two great decision makers. It'll be in my hands a little bit as well. Another great decision maker. And then our guys gonna feast off us. That's a beautiful thing.
How just comfortable are you getting being back on the court? Are you starting to feel some of the rust kind of shake off?
Yeah, I feel like each game I've been getting better. I know it's a process, it's gonna take a while. Shit, I missed the whole year of basketball, so just trying not to put too much pressure on myself in each game, just try to take it day by day and keep improving each game.
Vando, a lot changed here in the time you were out, from the coaching staff to players, and some of the medical staff changed as well. How did the kind of the new regime, team medical staff, help you get to this point?
They helped a lot. For one, just being patient with the whole process. I know it wasn't easy from my team, from the staff, from everybody. It was a long process, but we put together a great plan, and we stuck to the plan. And it's paying off now. So shout out to those guys.
Just have one more follow-up. You've been on the court, but the impact of the way you did tonight, double-digit rebounds, some assists, like a ton of activity. Was this kind of feeling like the full-fledged comeback compared to the other spot minutes you had so far?
Yeah, obviously I feel like this is the most minutes I played, so main part is trying to get back in shape as well. I feel like my last stretch could have been a little better. Gave up a couple back cuts, face cuts and stuff like that. I feel like that was kind of just due to conditioning wise, but yeah, I feel like each game I've been still knocking the rust off a little bit, so trying to get my feet under me, get back in rhythm, and just trying to catch the flow of the game. Yes, I got no more questions.
No, sir. They don't want to talk about 4%.
We actually do, but Vando, when speaking with Rob, he mentioned that Rob and JJ both mentioned going to the trade deadline, coming out of it, that keeping the core intact, and he mentioned that you, Rui, Gabe, and even Dorian, like the fabric of the team in terms of what you guys bring culturally, defensively. How does it feel for you guys to be valued in that way, and for JJ and Rob to see that what you guys bring to the team on an everyday basis?
He said we was the core?
He said you guys were the fabric, like what you guys are the fabric of the team, overall keeping the core of the team together, coming out of the trade deadline.
Yeah, I feel like that's our job, man. To be the glue guys, to be the dogs, to be the enforcers, whatever it takes. Obviously, we got 2 great stars or 3 great stars. They kind of lead the pack forward, so everybody else has got to fill in, do the dirty work and fill in the holes, and that's our job.
Jared, do you gain a level of confidence when you get through a game with this much physicality? It got nasty in there in the second half.
Yeah, personally, I love physicality, so I love, when those type of games, nitty-gritty games, and I feel like we was up big in the first half, and they upped the physicality on us to try to change the game a little bit, but I love how we responded. We was able to fight back and bring that level of physicality, but that's what it's about, hard-fought games. We knew it wasn't going to be an easy game, and we was able to pull out with a win.
How about Marcus Vando?
Vando, you talked about just missing the last year of basketball. And can you just talk about, from the mental aspect, what that's like, trying to rehab an injury, kind of going through the setbacks? I feel a lot of people may say, hey, when's Vando coming back? When's he getting back on the floor? But they don't kind of understand the behind-the-scenes aspect and the human aspect of trying to rehab that. And then, I guess for you tonight, obviously having 14 rebounds, impacting the game, you're out there to close the game. Just take us through that whole process, for you last year.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. It's difficult, mentally and physically, to continue being positive and progressing in the right direction. Obviously, had a few setbacks in between, but that's part of going through the whole process and trusting the process. But yeah, like I said, I learned a lot during my time down. Just trying to stay locked in mentally, and obviously my people around me, my team. The team here, the staff, I had a great support system around me to help me get through it. But yeah, I'm just glad to be on the other side now.
Jared, you have 2 guys off the bench, yourself and Gabe, who both missed the majority of last season due to injury. Past month or so, Gabe's been having a great impact off the bench. You come back, you make an impact right away. I guess just kind of with the 2 of you guys, how does that, how have your roles kind of been, I guess, coming up, bringing that energy and being able to contribute to this team? That's helped.
Man, yeah, shout out to Gabe, man. He's an absolute pro. I seen what he went through last year and him being able to bounce back, and even starting of the year a little shaky, trying to get back in rhythm to where he's at now. He's just been a true professional through the whole process, and guys like me just watching him go through similar things that I went to and still be positive, still be professional, still come to work and work every day and still be personable and stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to Gabe, man. He's been a true pro and kind of inspired me through my process. So.
Thanks, Vando. You can really pop up there.
Hey, Dad. Appreciate y'all. Over here.
Hey, awesome. Jared, just touched on some of this, but with him coming back, Gabe having some more games under him and getting Dorian Finney-Smith, what have you seen from kind of those three collectively and how that's added to what you guys have already been establishing here?
They're huge for our team. Like Vando said, they do all the dirty work every single night. You don't have to wonder what you're going to get from them. The competitive spirit's always going to be there. Attention to detail is always going to be there. They're going to be flying around on defense. So we love to have guys like that on this team.
I was going to ask you about 4 for 17, but we'll start with something.
Of course you was.
I'll save it for Kobe. There was a time early in the season, I think, where teams could kind of try you guys physically, play dirty maybe even at times, and try to get under your skin and push you guys around. How do you think you guys have responded to that? And did you feel kind of Golden State go to that tonight as an effort to try to get some juice back in the game? And how do you think you guys kind of handled it in terms of composure?
I don't know. I think we've just grown as a team. Regardless of what the opposing team's doing or trying to do or getting more physical, you kind of just gotta stick to the script, and we want to compete. We want to be physical from the jump. So try to just match that, and if not, be more physical. We've had conversations we'll live with. Certain fouls in certain situations. If you're, doing the right thing, if you're, say a shot goes up and we're maybe in a smaller lineup, like we had against the Clippers, and Zubac's down there, kind of one-on-one. You want to get 3 guys to, go sandwich rebound, put a body on him, and if that turns into a foul, then we live with those. So. I think we've just continued to grow as a team and help one another out.
4 for 17.
Pretty good, huh?
Depends on. But you still got 20. You got I think 15 or 16 at the free throw line. I think overall you've been getting to the line more the past couple weeks compared to even early in the season. Like, what have you seen out there that's led to that? 16 is a big number, obviously. But I think it's been like 5 on average for the past 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, shot a lot of free throws tonight. It was the only shot that actually felt good leaving my hand. But just trying to stay aggressive. Just get to my spots, be crafty. Just try to continue to play the game the right way. But like you said, 4 for 17's not it.
Austin, we've talked a lot about LeBron. You've been very complimentary of what he's done as a 40-year-old, but tonight scoring 42 at that age, how do you describe that looking inward thinking, okay, that would be you scoring 40 14 years from now?
Jeez. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not going to happen. It don't make sense to me. But then again, when you look from, a wider lens, you see everything that he does to prepare himself, to put himself in a good position to go out there and do what he did. It does make sense, but at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's ever seen anything like this. I was walking past him, past his locker to go to the shower, and just tapped him on the shoulder and told him thank you for this one tonight, because I didn't show up as I needed to. I don't. There's not really a good answer for that. It's just I think everybody needs to sit down and appreciate it, regardless of what your outlook is on him, his game. I think we're seeing something that is very special, and everybody just needs to appreciate it.
Laker fans are just clamoring for any glimpse of Luka they can get at this point. The team put out a video of you, LeBron, Luka shooting together. What are your initial impression it's been of him so far? Have you had any chance to kind of chop it up with him at all? And how was the shooting session with him?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think still he walked in the locker room today and like was walking around dapping everybody up, and I kind of like glanced up and dapped him up, and like I was like, oh, it's Luka. Like he hasn't been able to play yet, obviously, so it's still it's obviously very new. But I'm ready for the opportunity to get out there and compete with him. One thing, I mean, there's a lot of things that he does really well, but I think one thing that I love most is, his competitive spirit. Every time he's on the court, he's in kill mode. So, for me, it's been a beautiful thing to watch since he's gotten the league. I really enjoy how he manipulates the game. He's not the fastest person in the world. He's really strong. He is very crafty. He gets to the free throw line, can pass as good as anybody in the league. So I'm very excited to take the court with him and see what we can do as a team. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. You don't have many of these 4 for 17s.
Thank you.
But you worked pretty hard for getting some of your shots off tonight. When 77 gets out here with you and LeBron, I mean, the looks are going to be, I would think, a lot easier. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I took some tough ones tonight, but I really think I missed a lot of really good looks. Had a couple in and outs. But like you said, I think he's just going to make the game easier for everybody, as he's done, since he started playing basketball, to be honest. Playing against him, I think the main focus is to figure out how to guard him, and it's not an easy thing to do. He's seen every coverage. He can make every pass. He's a willing passer. So I think that's just going to give our group, continuity in the sense of every possession we can get a good shot. I can't wait. I hope it happens really soon.
Kind of on that same note, and obviously getting ready to play with Luka. What do you say to people out there who will say, there's only one basketball, right? Like Luka needs the ball, LeBron needs the ball, right? AR plays with a lot of pick and roll and needs the ball. What would you say to people that had that thought, and how do you think you guys would be able to kind of make sure everybody still has touches and fits in the offense?
I think at the end of the day, those guys do score a lot of points. I don't know what Bron's averaging this year. I don't know what Luka's averaging, but they score a lot of points. But pretty sure Bron's averaging 8 assists. I don't know how many assists Luka's averaging. I would assume it's 9, 10 maybe. So it's not like those two guys are unwilling passers. And I believe and I know that both of those guys have a very high IQ of basketball, and they're going to do whatever they think can help our team be successful, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who gets talked about the most. It matters if we're winning games and trying to make a run in the playoffs. So I can't wait to figure that out. But I'm here for it. Like I said, I can't wait, and I'm gonna do whatever I can do to compliment those guys, and at the same time, help everybody out and play winning basketball.
Thanks, Austin.
Thanks, Austin.
How's everybody doing?
Well, how are you?
Doing well.
Shades. Gabe, seemed like the first half was really just continuation of what you guys have been doing the past few games. Second half changed and you guys pulled it out. Just what were you seeing, I guess, the difference between the two halves, or really the first half and the third quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a little complacent. They took advantage of every mistake we made, and they got hot from three. I think they hit 3 in a row. Almost was 4 in a row, and it's easy in this league to lose a lead when you're giving up threes. So they forced us to tighten the screws a little bit, and we pulled it out.
JJ mentioned that
sometimes, especially with this team, they hit a couple threes. There's sometimes an overreaction, and then that's how they get layups and shots towards the rim. Just were you seeing that, and how it's like, I guess, in those moments to try to remain composed defensively when they get into that kind of flow?
For sure, we definitely saw that. We experienced it in real time. We called a timeout. We kind of gathered ourselves, collected ourselves, and was able to get back to our principles and make some stops.
Gabe, just wondered what you've noticed from the group with you, Jared Vanderbilt, and kind of Dorian Finney-Smith coming in here, and just kind of a collective toughness and tenacity, and if you've fed off that as well, and how you feel like that's put an imprint on the rest of the team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those two guys specifically, they breathe life into me on the defensive end a lot. Whether it's their communication or their effort that they're putting forward, there's a number of inspiring plays that happen within 48 minutes, whether it's a box out, a rebound, a loose ball, and those two guys, they embody that. They embody the small plays that are winning plays that we need, so they're inspiring guys every single night.
Hey, Gabe, another good shooting night from deep for you. I guess just how good does it feel to see like all the hard work you've been putting in all year to finally, get the results along with it?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's great to make shots. It's great to see the ball go through it. But most importantly, it's great to be in the winner's column, So making shots and having an L would be just as frustrating as missing shots for me. So I'm just glad we got the win.
Obviously, a big game tonight going up against the Warriors, and obviously Steph coming in here. Just for you, talk about the energy just playing in. Obviously, tonight, crypto, the fans getting into the game. Just talk about what that was like tonight.
Yeah, I mean, every night you playing with LeBron James, you're going to have a crowd, and we were playing on TNT tonight against a great competitor in Steph and a good team in the Golden State. So, we had to come prepared, had to come ready to play. Energy was high. We had another big piece we're adding to the mix, so energy is always going to be high in our games, it seems.
Yeah, Gabe, I'm not sure if you've answered this or not. What are your thoughts on, what's about to take place, LeBron and Luka, and how that's going to affect all you guys and the open shots you're going to get and the rhythm of what this offense is going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still kind of hard to picture on the floor, but I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see them go out there and compete. They're both great competitors. Both great talents, one of the best in our game, each of them. So I'm excited to go out there, play alongside them, fight alongside them.
Gabe, obviously LeBron had another monster game, 42 points, I believe 17 rebounds, and he stepped up a lot in that fourth quarter. Besides that, we've seen him be vocal. He was motioning to the crowd, ramping people up. He was, making sure Luka felt included, despite the fact that obviously he's not playing. How important has LeBron been during this Grammy trip and the end of it, and being back here now, transitioning between not having AD and everything happening and now Luka being part of the team?
I mean, you said he had, my fault, 42 and 17 at 40 years old with 8 assists. I mean, he's leading us in every way. In every way, he's leading this group. It's been great energy. Even the guys that came in, late additions to the team, to the group, they're bringing in great energy. Our bench was great tonight. The guys that came in bring great energy. We were cheering each other on. We got good spirit right now.
Gabe, when you get off to a start like that against a team like that, they're going to respond in some way. It seemed like it was with physical, chippy. I mean, you ended up in the front row on one play that was an attack somehow. But, how did you guys kind of handle – did it feel like they were intentionally trying to push you out of the game? And how did you think you guys kind of handled the way they tried to get back into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't always bank on making shots, and I think they just tried to pick up their physicality. They had other players that started to chirp, and they started to make a few plays, and their physicality picked up, and then the barrage of threes came later on. So it was a domino effect, I think, a little bit. They were just trying to fight for life a little bit, at the back-to-back game, and probably a little worn out themselves and trying to just find ways to stay in it. But we gave them a little confidence in that third, and we were able to close it out, though, in the fourth.
Gabe, just a quick follow-up on LeBron having 40 tonight. He's just the second player in NBA history to have, joining Michael Jordan, to have 40 over 40. JJ said he kind of ran out of adjectives to describe it. For you, playing with him and thinking about that would be you 12 years from now, scoring 40, how do you describe it?
I can't even think that far ahead, man, to be honest. I don't even know what day of the week it is. But, I mean, Bron's amazing. He's been amazing for 22 years, and he'll continue to be amazing. I doubt this is the last time he'll have 40 over 40 as well. So we've got a lot of games left, a lot of season left. I'm excited to see what other parts of history he breaks and makes.
That's one for
Gabe, have you just thought about the idea of having either LeBron or Luka sort of on the floor for 48 minutes and just that level of creation and kind of making it difficult for an offensive lull, let alone the other things, and just how you guys can kind of play around that?
Yeah, I mean they both just demand so much. They demand so much with the ball, and they both have such a high IQ. There's not a pass they can't make or a shot they can't take and make. So it just creates a lot of havoc for the other team's defense, and offensively just trying to make sure that we're giving them the right space, getting them in the right positions, and being ready to shoot, make plays when they do get off it. So looking forward to the opportunities to come, and just glad we got a win tonight.
Thanks, Gabe.
JJ, that first half looked like a real continuation of the last several games. Was the second kind of a matter of holding off their run and eventually staying on top? What did you think happened as the game got tighter?
To be honest with you, we gave up a lot of uncontested threes. They had 28 three-point attempts in the first half, and 21 of those were uncontested. Now, some of those were by people like Draymond that we wanted to be uncontested. But that's just too many. So you got to figure they're going to make some at some point. The problem is when they start making threes, there's an overreaction to that. And so a lot of the breakdowns in our defense in the second half was actually us just giving up layups and making up our own rules and not having a low man. So the defensive activity that we had, particularly with our shifts and our low man and stuff, just our hands were great. We were in the passing lane. We got deflections. We kind of got hugged up on our men and then started making up some rules there.
Yeah. So you guys traded for a center. It just went through.
Try that again.
Yeah, let's just run it back. What do you know Mark Williams? I guess can you start with kind of what your familiarity is from his time in Virginia and Duke, and what do you think he can bring to your team here?
I met Mark when he was playing at Duke. As he was coming out of the draft process, we had a few conversations just about the NBA, agents, whatnot. I've gotten really good feedback through the years on his character and his intelligence level, and I've watched him develop, and just a big fan of his, and did a lot of legwork in preparation for an interview that never happened with the Hornets last year. So was very familiar with him, and just feel like he's a really good fit for now, and he's a really good fit for the future.
When are you expecting to have Mark playing a game for you? And he's played in about a third of his possible games he could have played in because of injuries in his pro career. Like, how much of that was a consideration when you and Rob discussed bringing him on?
Ask the second part again. Sorry.
He's basically missed 1 or 2 out of every 3 games he could have played as a pro because of injury problems.
Yeah. Well, as far as when he'll play, that hasn't been determined yet. In terms of the medical, we have confidence in all the background work we did on the medical. Spoke with Dr. Watkins, who treated his back injury, and Leroy and his staff, Dr. Sims and his staff, I should say. I'll be respectful. Dr. Sims and his staff, did their legwork, and we're confident that we can take care of him and help manage his body, and he'll be on the court for us.
JJ, before the game, Rob told us that when Luka got here, they had conversations about just kind of the roster, and he referenced some of the success he had in Dallas with certain center archetypes. And then Rob looked and scoured the market and ultimately settled on Mark. So with that specific pairing with those two and what Luka's been able to do with similar types of players earlier in his career, how do you see those two fitting together specifically?
Yeah, I think Luka can play a number of ways. It would be very advantageous for us to have multiple centers that can provide a vertical threat, and we feel that Mark is a young starting center in this NBA, and he provides that vertical threat. I think we as a staff have a job to do in developing him as a screener, a decision maker in the pocket, and on the defensive end. But we're confident with his character, work ethic, IQ that he's going to be a really good player for us.
In the same conversation that Jovan mentioned, Rob talked about the fabric of the team. He mentioned Gabe, Vando, Rui, Dorian. Like, keeping those guys here was important. I guess, how did you see that from your side in terms of the role players and what they've done over the past month or so during this, I guess, strong win of play, and just how important that was to keep that intact going into the deadline or coming out the deadline?
Yeah, Rob and I have had a number of conversations about that group of players, and we feel like, culturally, they are the fabric of the team, and they help us on the court. They help us in the locker room. They help us in their spirit. They're professional. They're consistent. Those are the guys you want to coach, and we value all those guys a lot.
Two for you. In golf, people talk about like shooting their age and stuff like that, like LeBron scoring his age, and then some tonight. Just the run that he's been on, and then the other thing I want to ask you just about Vanderbilt's sort of general activity level tonight, and if you saw like a different gear athletically from him than we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think with LeBron, we run out of words and superlatives and descriptions to sort of capture what he's doing at this stage of his career and at this age. It continues to be remarkable. It really does. And he really led us tonight. AR having an off shooting night, and we needed all of that offense from LeBron. But the 16 defensive rebounds, and then with Vando getting 10 defensive rebounds and 4 offensive rebounds in 20 minutes, he was a stud tonight. And I think athletically, we've seen pieces of that. I'd probably say tonight was the most in terms of some of the rebounding out of his space. And, he was just, in some ways, he just like dominated his role. He dominated his role tonight. He was awesome.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.